Yeah, man. I just like to say this, and because this is all a mental thing that we dealing with when we come to our addictions, and when it comes to recovery, just as well. And this recovery in me whole concept is basically a chronological attempt to galvanize that concept within all of our thoughts as addicts, you know. And one thing I had a problem with doing is saying that I was an addict. You know how they tell you to raise your hand and say, hey, my name is such and such, I'm an addict, But I recognize that it's a power in that when it comes to sobriety. When you admit that you are an addict and you abuse drugs. So right there, that's like half of the battle is already won. Now the next battle comes into character reflections, retrospection, getting a real glimpse of, your past and the things you did, the person you was, the irresponsibilities, and all of that type of stuff. And it helps. It really does help. And I also noticed that, misery, misery, you know, misery is like a hoe. Evil is like a hoe. You know why? Because those are the easiest things to do. It's always easy to do the wrong thing. You ever notice that? Yeah, it's easy for you to say, you got some people, that say, oh, the white man this, the white man that. And they'll use that as a platform to just say, fuck it, and go ahead and get high. It could be anything. And this is what we have to be mindful of when we in recovery. Simply because, we have parts of our character, and they call them character defects. And we gravitate and we latch on to that, and we use our minds to create excuses just to say fuck it. I'm gonna go get high. And then you continue the cycle of what they call you disqualify yourself as not as a human being, but you disqualify yourself as a member of society. Put it like that. The society at large. You're not really playing your part. You playing a part of the miserable side of things. And this is why I always say we have to remain mentally vigilant, because it's always going to come at you. It's people right now, it's mindsets right now that if they could and they could step over here and cross these borders, they'll change the whole scope of how we live here in America. It's important. This is why it's important for us to start recognizing the power of the vote and the power of numbers. You see it happening right now in the country. Evil flies away when it comes to truth. And when you present the truth to that evil, what happens is the evil has to go away. It has to find another place. And that addictive part of our personalities, that addictive part of our behavior, we have to present the truth to it. Hey man, listen, you wasn't really doing nothing good for me. You had me running around here speaking to the sisters now. You had me running around here selling my body, for a paltry sum. You had me shirking my responsibility as a parent, and as a family member. And brothers, the same thing. You had me running around here stealing. You had me running around here going to jail. You had me running around here doing all kinds of things that a responsible person wouldn't do. So this is the stuff that we have to always keep in the forefront of our mind. It's all about just wanting to be a better person every day. And every day that you got life, you got another chance in doing it. Now I'm not going to subscribe to the fact that, you create a situation in your mind to tell you, well, I can go ahead and relapse, I can go ahead and get high and bounce right back. But how many times are you going to have to do that to understand that you just wasted time, precious time, because we're not going to be here forever. Listen, one thing I noticed, and this may sound a little bit morbid, but it's the actual fact though, we will all die. Everyone will taste death. So now what are you going to do with the little bit of time that you have on this planet called life? You want to spend it running around, staying on the corner, shaking your little tail feather, trying to get somebody to get interested in you so you can perform a sexual act on them, get some money, and go get high. If that's what you want to do, you want to run around, creeping around, looking to see who ain't in their house and breaking their house and steal their stuff, and so you can either get caught or get away with it or get money to get high, and you repeat the cycle over and over again. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, my whole life was centered around, doing illicit things in order to remain high, So we ain't even gonna fake ourselves out. And that's another thing. Do not fake yourself out. Be honest. Be 100% with yourself. That's why I wear this shirt. See, this shirt say 100. Be 100% with yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Because you ain't lying to nobody but yourself. And I think the worst person to lie to is yourself. So what we have to do is we have to galvanize all the forces that we have within us, to fight this thing called addiction. And it's just like having a fight with yourself. You're at war with yourself. You at war with your attitudes toward how you perceive things. You get disappointed. So what? You get disappointed. Everybody gets disappointed. That don't mean you got to jump off the roof and get high and go kill yourself. Don't do that, So what? You got low abandonment issues. That ain't no reason for you to go get high. This was, we have to develop reasons to say, well, listen, through it all, at least I ain't get high. Because I had a saying. It used to be like, to the alcoholics, it used to be like 40 days and 40 nights. I'm beating up my wife. 40 days and 40 nights. I'm messing up my life. 40 days and 40 nights. At least I ain't on crack. 40 days and 40 nights. I'll drink to that. You see what I'm saying? So you can make it a comparative situation to still do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's not good for you. We have to get into situations and we have to put ourselves into things that the activities that we choose to do, now that we're not getting high, are going to be good for us. And every day that you proceed through life from this point on, that you stay clean, you stay away from your drug of choice, you will definitely see an elevation in your life. You start getting your mental faculties back. You might even come across some things that you forgot that you knew how to do while you was getting high. Because when you was getting high, that's all you thought that you knew how to do was get high. I know that's all I thought I knew how to do was get high. All I thought money was for was to go get me some crack. You understand me? So let's keep it real with ourselves. Keep 100 with ourselves. Don't be dishonest with yourself, because the worst person to lie to is you. So like I said before, this is all about recovery and me. And I'd like to thank all of y'all who participate and who give me a little listen, you know what I'm saying, and understand that I'm not preaching, I'm not pontificating. All I'm doing is just sharing my experience, what they call my experience, my strength, and my hope, just to get another day clean. So remember, be safe, stay mentally vigilant, and I'll see y'all on the other side.